Sit back, wait, you know, you've got 3 bases, your opponent only has 10 SCVs, every extra 7 adapts or an extra void ray that you can get out, maybe with a photon overcharge or 2, if you don't lose that mothership core, maybe he could have salvaged the situation and still killed that army. Either way, it made for a great game for us. We're loading into Belshire Vestige for our second map of this best of 3. We're looking at the main base of the man that should have perhaps won game number 1, but he didn't. Representing OSC Root, it's herO.
Going for a very quick scout here, actually, right after his pylon. Wants to know how this guy is playing as the blue Terran. It's TES's Ryung.
What a resurgence.
With the gas first here, actually.
What a resurgence by this guy. A while ago, I really kind of felt that like Ryung, his best days were behind him, and obviously he'd still be relevant, but if you would have told me that he was going to show up at IEM, do just incredibly well in his first 3 games, beat Beyond 2-0, make top 4 of GSL, I'd be like, nah. You know, we all miss the Axiom days and stuff, but come on, man.
Previously of Slayers and Axiom. It's crazy, actually. Like, it's almost reaching the point where I'm like, well, where does Ryung fit in the World Terran ranking? Because, like I said before, it's the top 4 is supposed to be very clear, right?
Yep.
But is it really?
I still think it is, but let's. I mean, maybe after this weekend he could prove us wrong. If he just like.
There's like so many good Terrans that we have to extend to like top 5 now.
I mean, you have to think of Gumiho as well. You have to think of Alive and stuff. There's some great Terrans out there, mostly coming out of Korea.
Almost as if Katowice was pretty good.
Nah, the big 4 is still the big 4, but Ryung is absolutely knocking on the door. I can't stop it. No, it's gonna be fun. Let's see how he does this weekend. As we see the factory being thrown down. So far, of course, an excellent start for him.
Yeah, and herO, it's really hard to recover from a game like this. Like again, I really feel like he had a good opener and stuff, but he's a man of many different builds. The thing with herO though is like it feels like he picks the builds more depending on map than opponent a lot of the time. And when he goes for one of his builds that he's done before, the next few steps are almost always the same. He's not going to vary that much. So say, for example, he opens Phoenix, it's almost always going to be a ton of adepts behind it and then an attack. The only difference sometimes is that, like I said before, he would throw in a double forge and play a little bit more passive at times. But there is always going to be a ton of adepts no matter what to combo with this. So
I think it's not just mentally hard because he was in a great position, Todd, but I also think build order-wise, it was the absolute dream scenario, right?
I just know when I had a game like this, even in Warcraft 3 or something, I would be like, oh my god, like I cracked everything perfectly, got lucky items, and then this is what happens. And in StarCraft, it's the same thing.
Yeah, you're gonna ask yourself, if I can't win that game, you know, how else am I gonna win? I know that it was supposed to be not a free win, it's never a free win, but if you talk about best case scenario when it comes to build orders, and especially after the Oracles did so much damage, you really can't complain as a Protoss player about that start. But I guess, I mean, herO is a veteran, he has won multiple IEM tournaments, so I'm sure that he can shake it off and move forward.
The Robo is a bit delayed here, but should be there on time, assuming herO keeps his units in position. He did scout that there was most likely going to be some sort of Widowmine drop potential from Ryung, and he opened 3 gateways pretty quickly with Resonating Glaives. I'm not sure if that's because he wants to be aggressive, but you need to respect those Widowmine drops in the first.
Yeah, but I mean, this is why most Protoss players open up with the Robo before the Twilight, right? I actually like playing Twilight before Robo, but there is always this one moment where your Observer is not going to be in time yet, and you need to have units in the right place. He's going to warp in 3 Stalkers, that could be enough.
There's no pylon actually at this base, so he can't even warp in that close to the Nexus.
He does have 2 Adepts here though, and Adepts do quite a bit of damage, but does he have 1 mine? 1 mine? No, he's not going to drop it all.
I mean, there is enough units, I think, that he would die. 3 Adepts and 3 Stalkers is a good amount. Then usually you dedicate the Mothership Core to your other base. Warp Prism now on the way.
I like that triangle of pylons.
And
this one will burrow.
Woo!
This one.
Make 1 probe.
Photon Overcharge could actually kill the medevac. He's waiting.
Waiting for it.
Yeah, he's like, commit.
It's like one of those movies, not yet, not yet.
Yeah, he's like playing sniper.
Then they blow the TNT. And herO's gonna go for an attack here, almost certainly. He was already on a lot of units. He's going for the Prism now.
Oh!
Gonna chase away that Medivac.
Wow.
This counter attack could do a lot here. herO is actually going very aggressive, and I'm not sure Ryung's able to anticipate that this is gonna be coming. If he has units in the main, yeah, I mean, This could do a lot.
Yep, it's gonna definitely do quite a bit of damage, but with the bunker, I mean, Ryung should be safe. Actually, he pulls the SCVs incredibly quickly. Love the micro. The medevac in the middle of the map might get intercepted by the stalkers. No, medevac too fast.
I was wondering if he might chase that, but no. herO might be aiming to go for the top of that ramp. Yeah, I think he's gonna drop these units there, try to go for a big adept warp in.
Oh, he's gonna be careful. The prism is gonna take a lot of damage. But he does keep it alive. One adept took a lot of damage.
Almost a rap god. So pretty fast talking there. Ro2 is gonna go actually for the natural here with a ton of adepts on top of that tank. He actually is blocked. He blocked the SCVs from repairing by by shading them on top of that tank. So he gets that, and now he's gonna have to evacuate. Ryung with a great defense so far, even though finally herO was able to get one of these tanks. And in the meantime, we don't really have a transition out of herO. I mean, he's getting more gates, a forge, and an immortal, but no sign of a third base.
Wow, these adepts are doing some serious work right now, Todd. 10 SCVs have gone down already, and a couple of very low HP SCVs as well. He wants them, but he also doesn't want to lose the prism.
Of course they did great damage. I said that it was a great defense from Ryung. Next thing you know, 11 SCVs.
No, I do agree with you. It was very solid early on. herO adding a lot of additional gates. I do think he wants to go up to 3 bases though, because I feel this is not an army composite. Well, that's
with 5 more gates?
Yeah. I still think...
Even if you get a third Nexus, like this is already a massive commitment to attack.
I mean, he did a lot of economic damage, but did he really do that much that he can just run across the map and win? Obviously, the Immortals are incredibly beefy, and they pack one hell of a punch as well, so you can take care of a tank, you can take care of the bunker, something that Adepts can't do that well. Let's see.
I wonder if hero's plan here is to maybe try and squash the army that he thinks is going to hit him eventually very soon, and then go for a counterattack. That could be deadly, and you're going to want to be careful here as Ryung, because Blink is close to finishing, and if he starts throwing away units like this, he's going to encourage herO to counterattack even more. I love that herO kept the Warp Prism alive here, by the way. So many Protosses would have lost that by being overly aggressive. One of them is talking right now.
I don't know what the probe is doing at the fort. This is definitely not the time to go up to 4 bases, as herO is still only on 47 workers. That's when you don't even want to dream about a fort Nexus. Ryung is moving across the map with more units now. It's very important that herO has some vision of that. Okay, he does have the Zelnaga Watchtower. Do we have any observers on the map? Is it just like a single observer with the army or something? Where is it? Okay,
it's across the map actually. You don't want to be careful. I mean, there is only one Widow Mine, but if there were a couple more, this could really get very dangerous.
It's interesting that herO is going up to 3 bases, as this Warp Prism will perhaps get chased down. A few SCVs, excuse me, a few Marines are going to try to hunt it down. I guess eventually the Prism should fall. Plenty of Marines over here as well. These Adepts are going to die as well. Good job there by Ryung, getting rid of that Prism. Well done.
And that's going to force herO to make another one if he wants to be aggressive, which you want to be making Immortals if you want to be attacking as well. So right now, no opportunity to start that up until when that Immortal finishes. And with this amount of Immortals, herO wants to be aggressive. He wants to have some Guardian Shields, some Force Fields, shade these Adepts on top of the Terran army ideally.
It all comes down to the engagement with these army. I mean, this comes ironic hearing it from me, but eventually you do want to get some splash damage against Terran, right? Like, Immortals are very good, but if you have too many of the same units, like, it really comes down to the engagement. And this actually seems like a pretty good engagement, I think, for herO, as the Adepts are going to be on top of the Marines as well. He's got 5 Immortals here, Todd. 5 Immortals are going to completely destroy these tanks, and he's going to murder this army of Ryung. But at the same time, Ryung is killing a couple of probes on the left bottom side.
There's no pylon there to reinforce as well, so herO, I think he's just going to evacuate that base. I love this choice. If he had come back to defend, he would have been in Ryung's favor. He just sends a couple of Stalkers, and he's marching across the map here right now to try and counter-attack and kill Ryung. But the Warp Prism has to be remade from scratch and from the start.
I love small moves there. Instead of trying to pick up those Marines and losing them all, he saves the medevac and actually gets 2 Stalkers for his effort. herO needs to start rebuilding probes. As good as that fight was, it's not good enough for herO to win. He's F2ing again. He's bringing the Mothership Core, and I still don't believe it's for time warp, Todd.
Maybe it is.
Or maybe it's not.
And you can't really attack into this.
No. I think that he thought that he absolutely won that battle, but perhaps he took too much damage on the left bottom side. Now he goes back to building probes. He looked at that bunker and the tanks and the bio units. He's like, oh my god, and the Liberators. He's like, all right, I can't break this. And now we see the Robo Bay going down as well. Because even though that battle was a victory, it wasn't a landslide victory, and he took damage in the left bottom side. that really wasn't all that bad for Ryung. Even though it looked really bad, the actual fight was obviously not great. But all the other things went quite alright for Ryung.
I'm loving these games, man. So many mind games between these two. herO, he basically hard-countered Ryung's style of staying on 2 bases for a very long time this game. He went for a lot of adepts, immortals, and stalkers to basically counter these 2-base pushes that you know are going to be coming. If you rush to Colossus too early, you can die to this. If you rush to too many upgrades, to too much tech. So no, he stayed low-tech, ton of gateway units, and now more economic damage.
Oh,
I mean,
it recalls. I mean,
that was for the recall.
maybe that's what it was for all along. 8 workers
it's
again.
smart actually, because when you move across the map with your entire army, it's very tempting for Terran to drop, right? So then you recall, and since it takes forever for the units to be active again, the Terran picks up and leaves.
How many workers did Ryung kill throughout this game? It's like 20 something, right? 18.
Yeah, good number.
It really starts adding up, especially because herO has been a low probe, right? Like if a Protoss goes up to 75 workers and they lose 18 workers throughout the game, that's like nah. But he's been around 47, 48, so it really hurts.
This is the big problem of this kind of army here. It starts becoming worse and worse as the Terran army becomes much bigger. There's a couple stalkers behind there, but Disruptor's not there just yet. He's actually gonna even send back the shades. Disruptor shot on the mines.
On the mines?
Oh! If he had gone for that, but I'm not sure if there is an observer actually nearby. It might be across the map still.
He probably recalled it as well.
He's gonna go. He's gonna go.
Oh my god. These mines are gonna do so much damage. Will they do friendly fire as well? Not a tiny bit. I think this Terran army thought is way too strong. Immortals are good, but they ain't that good against Marines. Photon Overcharge is probably not gonna save the day either. And Ryung is off to an amazing start in this group thought. Beats Beyond 2-0, and now he's about to 2-0 herO as well in 2 really cool games.
Who is good enough for this guy? So far, nobody. Powering through every single one of his opponents, and herO is going to be another casualty here. Ryung was so solid this game. I really think that herO played so well both games, really.
I think he should have
countered his style perfectly, but Ryung was like, you know what? You want to make a ton of gateway units? Let me show you why this is bad.
I think a lot of people will be looking at these games and wonder why herO didn't just build more workers. Why did he stop at 47 when he had that much freedom and he really had Ryung cornered? I think that is the big question and a lot of people will have. herO knows the writing is on the wall for this one as Ryung takes the 2